What's up everybody? My name's Dan. Welcome to Ahnestly. Welcome to part 3 of the series, What's the Best Chair for You? Where I help real people find their perfect chair based on specific information, such as their height, their weight, their seating preferences, and their budget. Today we're finding chairs for my tall freak of nature friends out there who sit at 6 feet or taller. If you're enjoying this series, get subscribed. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subs by the end of the year, and I really need your help. Also, links to everything that you see here will be down in the description below. Please use them as it really helps this channel a lot. Let's get on. In general, taller people do have to pay a price premium for their chairs, and I know that really sucks, but that's really the only way that smaller people like me can get revenge on taller people like you for when you steal our girlfriends because you can reach the high up shelves. It must be nice. In all seriousness, shorter people and taller people make up a smaller percentage of the population, so chair manufacturers aren't willing to put in the R&D to develop chairs for this smaller niche of people. However, I have identified some chairs that work better for tall people. If you are heavy set, I'm gonna highly recommend you invest more into your chair because your chair will experience more strain and it may break. And if it does, to get a chair that has like a 12-year warranty means you can just abuse the heck out of the chair, and if it breaks, you just get it fixed for 12 years, just peace of mind. So that's something to think about. All right, first we're starting with Dan. Dan is 6 feet tall, weighs 380 pounds, located in the United States, likes to sit normally, sits for about 8 hours at a time, likes aggressive lumbar, wants mesh as the preferred seating material, has a budget of less than $500, has ruled out their $100 Staples chair, and they don't really know the names of the chairs that they've liked in the past. And something to note is that they want strong lumbar support because they've had 3 herniated discs and good butt support. At 6 feet tall, Dan still has a lot of chairs available because it's only at like 6'2" where the list really starts to narrow. However, it's Dan's weight, budget, and the preference for mesh that really gives some pause here, because I believe the best mesh on any chair is found on the Herman Miller Aeron. However, the Herman Miller Aeron, on their remastered newest Aeron size C, their weight limit is 350 pounds. And that's because the more weight you put on mesh, the more chance that it'll sag or tear. However, a brand new Aeron is $1,900, which is more than what Dan wants to spend. But if you end up getting a budget mesh chair, that chair is not going to last long at all. So Dan, I've got 2 recommendations for you. One is to save up and buy a brand new size C Herman Miller Aeron. I say this because it comes with a 12-year warranty. The entire chair is covered, so you can sit on it, go crazy on it. If it breaks, just send it in for warranty repairs, and you'll be good to go, peace of mind for the next 12 years. If that's not feasible, which is totally understandable, your next best option is to find a used classic size C Aeron with the posture fit lumbar support. You can find well within your budget. It might be a little bit rare, and if you can, try to find one that still has warranty left over. This is like ultra rare. This is gonna be like the unicorn chair. If you can find it, great. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I made a really detailed buying guide on how to buy a used Aeron, which you can find up here, and I'll also link it down below. Joseph is 6 feet tall, or 183 centimeters, weighs 147 pounds or 67 kilograms, comes from Italy, likes to sit normal or cross-legged inside of the chair, sits for about 4 hours at a time, does not like aggressive lumbar, prefers mesh or fabric on their chair, is a baller because their budget is unlimited, doesn't like the Aeron, however, likes the Herman Miller Embody and the Herman Miller Cosm. And any additional information, they said that Italy's Herman Miller policy is confusing. They want the gaming Embody, but they need to know the difference between gaming and the non-gaming variants. My friends from Italy, I'm gonna need your help. Please help Joseph down in the comments below, or please correct anything I say that's incorrect down in the comments below. But it seems like Joseph has already narrowed down the list. Let me go ahead and address some of these questions. So the first one's gonna be about the warranty policy. Now, if you're using the EU store for Herman Miller, then the chair warranty policy for you is going to be that you get 12 years on everything. If you click the warranty on either of these chairs, you're gonna get this pop-up that says the whole thing is covered for 12 years. Now, if you go into their larger warranty policy, there might be a little bit confusion regarding the fabric on these chairs, because it says Herman Miller's specific fabrics are only 5-year warranty. However, if you read on, it says, however, there is an exception. These fabrics have 12-year warranty, and 3 fabrics are listed: the Sync, the Balance, and the Rhythm. And those are all fabrics found on the Herman Miller gaming Embody and non-gaming Embody. When it comes to the differences between the gaming Embody and the non-gaming Embody, I talk about that in great detail in my video, my 1-year review of the Herman Miller Embody, which you can find right here. Now, one of the advantages of getting a gaming Embody over the non-gaming Embody is that Atlas Headrest, who makes the best headrest in the world for the Herman Miller Aeron, they're developing a headrest for the Herman Miller Embody. However, they stated that the gaming Embodies are guaranteed to get a matching headrest and they'll probably get it first because these are the best-selling embodies in the world. So that is a distinct advantage of the gaming embody. And for taller folks, I've heard that they want a little bit more back and shoulder support in their embody, so that's something to consider. Sam is 183 centimeters or about 6 feet tall, 95 kilograms or about 209 pounds, comes from France, likes to sit all kinds of different ways, up to 10 hours at a time, does not like aggressive lumbar, prefers a fabric material, has a budget of less than €1,000, does not like the Herman Miller Aeron because it restricts movement, has not liked any really chair in the past, but wants a chair where you can increase or reduce lumbar, and currently is using a €15 chair. My friends from France, it's hard to say, please help out Sam down in the comments below because I don't know the chair scene in France. Sam, I'm gonna assume that you want a new chair, and if that's the case, I'm gonna recommend a new Steelcase Amiya. I wasn't able to find France's Steelcase's website, I don't even know how you say that. However, in the US, the Amiya is about $700, $800 new, so I'm guessing it's gonna be about €1,000 in France. Now, it doesn't have the ability to punch lumbar in and out. However, the Amiya takes more of an enveloping approach as opposed to a targeted lumbar, which means it really hugs your entire back and it feels great. It's also padded all around, which means you can sit as flexibly as you want. There's one limitation when it comes to the Amiya though, and it's that the backrest is not that high. Like for me, it comes to about right here. So it's more for like upright or slight tilt back positions, not a full lean back. Now, if you do want a chair where you can fully lean back and you really get maximum range of motion, a chair you might want to consider is the Secretlab Titan Evo 2022. Now, for taller folks, it really is one of the few chairs where you're going to get support all the way up your back, and because it's big and wide, you can curl your legs up, you can tilt back, you can lean back, you can basically sit any way that you want. The way I always frame it is that for the racing style gaming chairs, there's probably like a 30-40% chance that you'll like it, whereas with an ergonomic chair, it's probably gonna be somewhere in the realm of like 50 to 70%. So that's something to think about. Next up is Mikel or Miguel. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. I apologize in advance if I butchered it. So Mikel stands at 6 feet tall, weighs 155 pounds, comes from the United States, likes to sit normally with occasional leg tucked under, likes to sit for about 12 hours at a time, likes aggressive lumbar, prefers mesh, leather, or pleather material, has a budget of about $1,000, hasn't ruled out any chairs. They like the Secretlab Titan Evo 2022, but it's too rickety and doesn't provide enough lumbar support. And this person likes the Hayworth Fern and the Herman Miller body design. Mikel or Miguel, again, apologies. If you like the design of the Hayworth Fern, I think you should go for it. I noted in my review that it's one of my favorite chairs, and I really like it because it has a super tall back, so it's gonna provide a lot of back support for you. Unfortunately, the price of the Fern has gone up, and so if you get a non-extra lumbar version, it's gonna cost you just a little over $1,000, and if you do get the lumbar version, then it's gonna cost you just under $1,200. Whatever you do, don't get the headrest version. Trust me on this one. Next up is Josiah. It's a good name. It's my son's name. Height is 6'1", weighs 280 pounds, lives in the US, likes to sit normally, sometimes with their legs tucked under, likes to sit for 4 to 8 hours at a time, and likes aggressive lumbar, prefers any seat material is fine, has a budget of less than $699. I'm not sure if they're going for 69 there or why that number is so specific. Doesn't want any racing gaming style chairs. Right now it's currently using a well-padded chair, and this person fidgets a lot, so they really want a quiet chair. I think there's really only one recommendation, at least if you want a new chair here, and that's the Bowery chair. The Bowery chair has a super duper thick, dense foam, and it's rated for 400 pounds, so you shouldn't have any issues there. Now, it's not gonna have a padded back that you might be using right now. Instead, it's got this kind of rubbery back, which is nice and soft too. There's only 2 hard parts at the topmost edges, but it's got a nice tall back support, so you should be okay there. The lumbar support works in a way where it's like nice and tight, so when you scooch back, it really grips onto your back, and the chair is super duper quiet as well. If you're open to used chairs, you could try a used Steelcase Gesture, a used Steelcase Amiya, or a used Herman Miller Aeron size C. The size C is a little bit harder to find. The Amiya and the Gesture are ready, at least here in Pennsylvania, they're readily available on the used market. All 3 chairs are pretty different. The Herman Miller Aeron obviously being mesh. If you get the posture fit, you can increase or decrease the lumbar support, but it really can't move up and down. The Gesture, on the other hand, is gonna have superior arms, and the back is gonna be, the lumbar support is gonna be a little bit more targeted, and I believe the cushion isn't going to be as thick as, for example, on the Steelcase Amiya, which has a thicker seat cushion and uses a more enveloping approach where it hugs your entire back rather than kind of giving you a more targeted, focused approach. Next up is Frithjof. I think that's the right way to pronounce it. I checked on Google.
Frithjof.
So Frithjof is 6'1" or 185 centimeters, weighs 143 pounds or 65 kilograms, comes from Norway, likes to sit normally for about 2 to 5 hours at a time, doesn't like aggressive lumbar, prefers mesh, leather, or pleather, has a budget of $500, hasn't rolled out any chairs, liked the Noble Chairs Hero in the past, and didn't give any additional information. Comment section, I really need your help. I Googled quite a bit and I still have no idea what's available to people in Norway. I have no idea what chairs are available to you all. The only one that I could think of that I think ships to you guys is the Secretlab Titan Evo 2022. And that one actually kind of makes sense here because if you like the Noble Chairs Hero, the Noble Chairs Hero, from my understanding, only gives a lumbar in the form of in or out, whereas a Titan Evo 2022 can go up and down as well as in and out. Also, once you have a chair that's able to support your full back and your head, it's gonna be really hard to get a chair that all of a sudden kind of stops at your mid-back. And again, once you have a chair where you can tilt back and lean back all the way, it's really hard to go to like an ergonomic chair or an office chair that can barely do that. So yeah, Titan Evo 2022 might not be a bad choice here. Next up is Christian, who's 6'2", weighs 160 pounds, located in the United States, likes to sit normally or slightly lean back for about 2 hours at a time, likes aggressive lumbar, prefers mesh or fabric, has a budget of $500, has ruled out Office Depot and Office Max chairs, and they're worried about the Neue chair due to their return policy. What chairs have you liked in the past? Well, they like this $100 True Innovations mesh chair from Costco. And additional information, they said that they're picky with their lumbar support and that the Costco chair is the best in that $100 price point. I'm gonna have to check that out. Christian, you are 100% correct to be nervous about the Neue chair's return policy, but I'll make that really easy for you. Don't buy it. I said in my review that I wouldn't recommend it for super tall people. Also, considering your weight, I wouldn't recommend it to people who are over 5'10" and over 145 pounds. So that's an easy one. Now, the chair I would recommend for you, it's hard to find one like the one you recommend here. I forget what you call it, the True Innovations chair, because to find a chair that has a whole mesh back that's gonna be tall enough where that plastic doesn't really dig into your back is a little difficult, especially since you stand at what, 6'2"? Yes, since you stand at 6'2". So the chair that I'm gonna recommend to you is the Bowery chair. I recommended it before. It's one that comes up over and over again on this list because the back goes super high, the seat pad is great, it's very breathable, and it's gonna kind of envelop your entire lumbar area. It's gonna grip it really well and give you the support that you need. On the Bowery chair, you can actually lean back and lock it in a lean back position, and I know you like to lean back, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that returns are free on the Bowery chair. If you're open to a used chair, I highly recommend getting a Herman Miller Aeron in the size C, and consider getting a headrest. If you feel like you're not getting enough back support, upper back support, you can consider getting a headrest, and it actually can sit kind of in that neck area and give you extra back support. Also, instead of getting the posture fit, because you like your lumbar support high, you can get the rubber foam pad lumbar, which is cheaper than the posture fit. And if the chair doesn't come with one, you can buy one for like 20 bucks, and you can raise that thing as high as you want. Again, full video on how to buy a used Aeron will be linked down below. Next up is Landon. Landon is 6'3.5". I like that. 180 pounds, lives in the United States, sits 80% normal, and then the rest of it either legs tucked or both legs up in the chair. How long do you sit for about 5 hours, but this person is looking to get into computer science. They like aggressive lumbar, like mesh, leather, and pleather, has a budget of $800. They don't like the Steelcase Leap based on its looks. They're currently sitting in an executive Staples chair, and additional information, they said that aesthetics matter. They really like the look of the gesture, the Steelcase gesture, and the Hayworth Fern, and a headrest isn't required, but would be decent if it's available. Landon is at that height, like that 6'4" height, where a lot of people comment that, hey, if you're 6'4" or taller, these chairs just don't offer enough back support for me. And one solution I've heard to that issue is getting a headrest, because the headrest can sit in a position, if it's a good one, cheap ones will not work. Cheap ones have a lot of exposed plastic. It'll dig into your shoulders and stuff. But if you get a good headrest, then it's possible that that actually gives you more back, a little bit more neck, a little bit more upper back support. It seems like Landon plans to be a developer of some sort, which means it's gonna be a lot of sitting, so it's good that you invest money in your chair. You might wanna increase your budget though, just because you are super tall. If you like the look of the Steelcase gesture, I highly recommend you go out to the used market and go look for some. They're super duper available. And if you sit in it and you find that it's not offering enough upper back support, then I recommend that maybe saving up and buying a new Steelcase gesture with the headrest, because the headrest on the Steelcase gesture is pretty damn good. You might also be able to find a used Herman Miller Embody in your price range. You might have to spend a little bit more money, but it's possible. However, the Embody is a much more rare chair on the used market. Now, one of the benefits, again, of buying a used Embody or buying Embody in general is that Atlas Headrest plans on releasing headrests for the Embody. You just got to make sure that you get a colorware that's more popular, such as like black or gray, one of those things, because otherwise, if it's like a foreign color, like a green one, there might not be a matching headrest for it in the future. Last but not least is Ares. I had no idea the God of War was joining us today. It's a bad joke. It's a bad joke. Ares is towering over everyone at 6'4", 193 centimeters, weighs 130 pounds or 59 kilograms, comes from the Netherlands, likes to sit normally or with one leg tucked under, likes to sit for about 3 to 5 hours at a time, doesn't like aggressive lumbar, prefers a pleather chair, has a budget of 500 to 600 euros, doesn't like cheap gaming chairs, they haven't liked any chairs in the past, and says that they are extremely light, and so they're not sure if they should get a Secret Lab chair. So God of War, your height and budget make it really difficult to find a chair for you. Also, you're located in the Netherlands, and I have no idea what's available out there for you. If anyone watching is from the Netherlands, please help Ares out down in the comments below. A Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022 is not a bad idea. I've heard really tall people liking the Titan Evo 2022, especially in the XL size, because it's one of the few chairs that's really gonna offer you back support all the way up, provides total freedom of seating, allows you to lean back. The XL size is softer in my testing than all the other sizes of the Titan Evo 2022, so it might not be a bad idea. Get subscribed for more chair and desk videos, and until next time, stay honest.